This video is part of the MLA tutorial series. This goes through some of the basics of MLA and more advanced techniques on how you can use it to make great LabVIEW programs. Two of the key things that MLA does for you is it provides some documentation right here at the beginning. So when you construct the MLA object, it's feeding in the name of the VI, the reference to the VI, so it's able to control it. This is the main top level VI, which is the main program. So here, the main screen gets pushed into MLA, so it's able to get references that it needs to the screen. And then you give the program a name, and you give it a version number, and you give it documentation. So the idea here is as you make changes to your program, you make an entry. And each time you make a revision to the program, you kind of document what it is that you're doing. This isn't automatic, but it is convenient, and it's right here in the code, so it's able to live right alongside the changes that you're making. These things show up in an about box that is provided on the standard menu when you run the program. There's an about, and all of that information shows up here so you can easily see it. It gives you a nice, easy way to provide some documentation for the program and not have to do anything else. This dialog is also editable. You can go put your own logo and things inside that if you want to. So that's one handy feature that's built in and just kind of encourages you to document your program in place. Of course, you can add other documentation all over the place here, as well as I've done here with some notes in this program that I'm working on right now. The second thing I wanted to point out that's a standard feature for you is the error log. So every loop has an error. So as you're running through the contents of each of the loops, whatever you do, you just string it together so that you're able to keep the error flowing through, which gives you flow control of your program as well. But the very last thing that's done is that the error is put into this MLA error handler, which also decides whether or not the loop should terminate. This also ties into the shutdown mechanism inside of MLA. And then you give it a context for the error. So notice each of the loops has generally the name of the loop. You know, it usually matches the name of the loop when it puts that in there, but it can be anything if the documentation would mean more to you if it was called something else. But that gives you context for the error. These errors are put into an error log file, and there's actually a round robin series of files. So I think it's 4 of them, and it's just text. So it's got a timestamp and the error information, the context of the error, this context name, and then the description of the error from LabVIEW and the error code number. And it just appends to that. And then when it fills up one of the files, it goes to the next one, and then it goes to the next one, and then it comes back around. So you've got a good history of errors there, but you also won't create an out of control memory leak, disk space leak, because the error file can't get infinitely large. Each one of the 4 files is limited in size, and then it just kind of round robins them. So you when it comes back around, it clears the file and then starts anew. So that's why it keeps multiple files. So you've got a good history there as it erases the next one to be able to reuse it. So that's another feature that is just part of the core of MLA, the ability to have the documentation and the ability to track errors easily. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure to watch the other videos in this tutorial series and click subscribe so you can catch all of the other instructional videos that we post.